Hello, and welcome to the Venue Coach Blueprint for Owners. I'm Kyle Labar. This podcast is all about helping you fill your wedding venue with more bookings, earn more from each one, and keep your customers happy for a long time. We'll also talk about some tough times and big lessons that I've learned along the way. Let's dive in together and make your venue the best spot for weddings. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Venue Coach. Today, I was going over some tour recordings from one of our managers, and there was a common theme. I listened to a couple of them, and there was a common theme that was happening at the beginning of the tour, and I just wanted to talk about that and hopefully help you or anybody avoid some similar issues. So the the common theme was rapport building. And so part of the anatomy of a tour is at the beginning and throughout the tour you're building rapport with the couples. And so at the beginning it's talking to them about, you know, finding out about them, when do they get engaged, how do they meet, bringing in all these different aspects from them to get them talking, get their emotions up, the good emotions, right? The love that they have for each other. I've talked about that before. But one thing that I've noticed the manager doing was kind of doing it, but then not. And then at the end of the tour, when she should have been focused on using all the information throughout the tour to just reinforce why we should be the one that they go with. It was like doing all of that rapport building at the end. And so it was like we already presented the price, we already presented the offer, all of that, and then we're now discovering these things that they wanted or needed. And so I can't remember what I was listening to, but a sales or marketing expert that I was listening to this week, they said, you know, you go to a doctor, and when you go, you don't just go into the exam room and they just start poking you and start just looking at you, have you spin around and all this and just do that silently while you're just looking on awkwardly. Like they start with asking you a ton of questions and trying to figure out what's going on and what's wrong. And so for us with these particular clients, there's not that, like, what's wrong is that they don't have a wedding venue, right? We already know that. But we need to discover what they're looking for. And so part of the coaching that goes along with listening to these tours is coaching the manager to realize that, like, hey, we need to discover the things that they're looking for so we can tailor this tour to them. Otherwise, as we go throughout the tour, we're just going to keep just spewing everything that we have, all the amenities that we have to offer, everything and anything, and hoping that something will stick instead of being more targeted with what we're presenting them and how we're saying things and tying those things that they wish and they hope for and that they've dreamed of into the tour. And now, granted, there are moments where, or times where you're doing a tour and the couples are like, I don't know what we're doing. We just started. We haven't really had time to think about it. I just, whatever, whatever, whatever. So you take that as like, okay, well, we can't delay the tour just because we don't, like, we need to dig into this. But as you go through the tour, it's just asking those questions. Oh, what about this? Would this be something that you'd be interested in? Now it's more like a consult instead of just like, well, here's this in case you want to do that. And here's, and so if we take it more of a consultative approach while we're doing the tour, I think there's a bit better reception there. And as you make it tailor made to the couples, then you're going to get more resonance because you're showing them exactly what they want. And so that's the thing that I was picking up on today and listening to those recordings. And so I hope that was helpful. It may be an actionable item for you if you're not quite sure how to start building the rapport. Questions that I like to ask is, like I said before, how did you guys meet? When did you get engaged? What do you guys do? It's just being humans. you're just talking with other people and getting to know them. And so if you combine that with the intent of the tour, which is to help them decide where to book their wedding at, then that should give you more targeted questions to ask while still just being humans talking with other humans. So, if you found that helpful, please subscribe, rate, review, or whatever it is, and share this. And I'm just trying to help everybody out, and hopefully we can all get better in this industry. But until the next time, stay well and grow your venue and get those bookings.